hours of fun. Hello everybody, I'm Sarah and I'm a recorder player. One quick thing before we get into the video, something very exciting. I have decided to do a YouTube live stream. This is where I just go live on YouTube. This means that you can come and ask me all of your recorder questions and I will attempt to answer them in real time. So all you have to do is go to my YouTube channel at that time and there should be a thing saying live stream and you just click on it and you can talk to me. That is going to be this Sunday, the 19th of February at the times here. Okay. Let's get into the end of your recorder. Today's video is on a topic that's quite random and very specific, but it's something that all recorder players will encounter eventually in their recorder playing. And that is how to close the bottom hole of your recorder when you're playing. Why is this necessary? Well, believe it or not, for some of the notes, it's actually necessary to close the hole in the end of your recorder. We refer to this as hole 8. Your thumb is 0 and then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So by closing the end hole you can achieve a few more notes. This means that you can play much higher. It even means you can play lower. So this just extends the range of your recorder. So which notes are we talking about here? I'm going to show you these on the alto but also put the soprano notes at the top so it doesn't matter which one you play. The high F sharp needs to be closed with hole 8. Without closing the hole you get a G and then also high A. And high B flat. If you leave hole 8 uncovered, then you get a B. If you don't want to play this high, you can also use hole 8 to go low. Cover all of the holes on your recording and you have an F. But if you shade this closed with your knee, then you get an E. And if you completely close it and blow very softly, we are going to hear a very soft but beautiful B flat. You're probably thinking, when is this actually going to be necessary to play these notes? You'd be surprised, a lot of early music goes up this high. We have Bach and we have Telemann and we have lots of other things. And less surprisingly, contemporary music goes way past the high F. We go way up into the 3rd octave and it's just really good to have these options under your fingers. I love that piece! Okay, so how do we actually close this hole at the end? There is the possibility of using an extra key, but that is something I'm going to get to a little bit later. For the smaller recorders, the soprano, your alto, even your sopranino, I like to use the top part of the thigh, your kind of front thigh, thigh. Is there another name for your front thigh? A common misconception is that you actually have to use your knee to close it, which means that you have a really big movement to make. That is a lot more effort than it's worth. I actually use as close to the top of my thigh as possible. Then you only have to move a tiny bit. Then for the tenor, it's a little bit more complicated. Maybe if you're tall, you can use the top of your thigh to close the tenor, but I am extremely vertically challenged. That's not possible for me. So I actually use the side of my calf. If I'm using whole 8 a lot on the tenor, I prefer to be sitting. I rest one foot in the crook of my knee, like this, and then I can use my calf really easily. Closing the end of the basset is really difficult. I once did do it by using my heel. Yeah, so sorry basset, but mainly I get around it by finding out alternative fingerings for those really high notes that I want to play. So that's how. The bigger the recorder gets, just keep moving down your body. I'm aware that this whole video sounds very odd. How to do this so that it actually kind of looks elegant and not like you're a weird scarecrow. Firstly, there are 2 methods. You can go to your knee, or your knee can come to you. First I'm going to go towards my knee. You can move with your back, or you can also bend at the knees, or a bit of a combination of the 2. Say you don't want to be moving this much, you can also let your leg come to you. The risk here is that you get a bit excited and you go like this and you hit yourself in the teeth with the recorder. That has happened to me. I therefore like to combine both methods. I go slightly towards my leg, I bring my leg up to meet me, and we meet halfway in the middle. One thing to keep your eye on, I notice that when I do this I tend to go and grip the recorder with my lips, which I never do otherwise. So be careful that when you're making these unfamiliar movements, you're not doing something else weird with another body part. Let's have a look at this with a bit of Telemann, shall we? This is Telemann's Fantasia number 9, and there are 2 moments where you have to close whole 8. We have F-sharp has different notes on either side, and the aim is to make it sound as smooth as possible within the phrase. Therefore, I'm trying not to move very much, and it's so important to prepare this well. Ideally, 2 or 3 bars before, you should already be preparing this. Otherwise, you'll get and that's where accidents happen. The other point where we have a high F sharp is actually surrounded by a G. So your fingers aren't moving, but you're closing the hole and opening it. In this case, I will prepare by sticking my leg up and bouncing onto it, like this. Let's see if I can make that look natural within the phrase. And you can't see it here, but I kind of put it and felt like I was making this movement. I still have my pyjamas on under these nice clothes that I put on to make this video. So it's really important when you're practicing a piece that uses whole 8 that you practice the bars around that moment to make sure that your body is completely prepared, that you've studied it in like a choreography, and then you're not going to get any jerky movements, you're not going to get any broken teeth or broken recorders. Say you have a piece where there isn't just 1 or 2 moments of whole 8, but you are doing it all the time. We have a few options. There is the one I like to call the flamingo, You get really good at balancing on one leg. If you don't want to balance on one leg, you could put your foot up on a stool. I have done this before. It's a bit of a visual statement, but I think that people liked it. They were like, oh, I like the piece where you had your foot on that chair. I wouldn't recommend doing it for like Telemann or something, but if it's something where you want to make a bit of a it can work. The other option is to sit down. Now, I do not mind this option. I sit and perform quite regularly. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. There is, of course, also the option of having a key fitted to your recorder. Now, I've done a bit of research. Dolmetsch actually fit keys to recorders. I think you can choose whether you want to close it with this pinky finger or this pinky finger, but it's not cheap. Recorder maker Philippe Bolton also offers whole 8 keys, and you can even have a double key where you can close it with both pinkies. On Philippe's website there is a whole physics explanation of why closing the end of your recorder produces a difference in pitch. So if you're into the kind of sciencey side of music, definitely go and check out his website. I'll put the link below. And now we're just going to have a quick look at some of the kind of special qualities that you can achieve by closing the end hole. One is dynamics. If you shade this hole, it makes the pitch drop. This means in some cases you can blow a bit harder and make a loud note. Alternatively, you can use it to play very soft. Imagine you want a beautiful soft E flat. Well, you play an E, shade it with this hole and blow very softly. So normal is and you'll hear, if you blow too hard, the note cracks. We can actually use that to our advantage. There's a thing called multiphonics, and that's where you hit multiple notes at the same time. My video on how to close the bottom hole of your recorder. I hope you've enjoyed this very random subject. As always, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm so happy this week we hit 4,000 subscribers. 2017, we're gonna go for 10,000 subscribers. So click on my face to subscribe. If you didn't see last week's video already, that was an interview and a performance with Revoice magazine. I had a really good time talking to them, and you can catch that here. And don't forget about my YouTube live stream. Thanks for watching and have a great day.